So we are in 2025 and you're still not charging high ticket prices for your services. Let me tell you why that might be a problem. You see, there are more and more creators every single day, more and more people trying to sell their services online. And all the best entrepreneurs have realized by now that if they are not charging high ticket prices for their core offers, then they will never be able to stand out from the market because everyone else will make more cash upfront, deliver better client results, and be more fulfilled to actually keep going on the long term than them. So if you're still charging by the hour or your prices are just too low, then let me tell you about Brian's story. Brian is a trauma healing coach who was charging $250 for his services, for his coaching services. And we helped him build out a transformational high-ticket offer, which ended up 4xing his business within just a couple of weeks. And I'll be breaking down that exact process in this video, so stick around for the next 10 to 15 minutes where I'll be going over every single step and every single principle that we have implemented and used for him so that you can use it in your business as well. Enjoy. So I've talked about Brian for a little bit now, who went from 4K per month to 18K per month with implementing a high ticket coaching offer while working with better quality clients, with less clients, and making more money. So his offer is, I help narcissistic abuse survivors 100% move on and heal in 30 days with the Breakthrough Paradigm Protocol. Let me just quickly take this. So with the Breakthrough Paradigm Protocol, and obviously a couple of systems we have implemented for him was his conversion mechanism, his landing page over here, the sales process, the sales pipeline, as you can see over there, the appointment setter whom we have hired for Brian, then the content system to make his content more effective and easier to manage. But essentially the main change that we actually implemented for him was taking his service from a $250 per hour coaching service to charging his clients per transformation rather than per hour spent with them. And that resulted in him collecting $4,000 and $3,000 payments, where in the old system he would have needed 4 clients for and spent 16 hours of sessions with those 4 clients on average. And in the new system, he just needed 1 client to collect $4,000, and he only had to spend 12 hours of sessions with them. Now, why is this so much better? It's because if you focus 12 hours on 1 client, they get better results. You are more happy because you know exactly who you are talking to. You know your client better. Your client is more happy because they get a better transformation. And then you can use their testimonial later on to, in your marketing, sell more clients and sell more of these high ticket clients. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy rather than you having to run after every single lead of yours. Now, obviously, there was a very clear structure to the sales process as well, but that's for other videos. Right now, I'll just be talking about the comparison of charging below $3,000 and being a transformational high-ticket coach. Now, charging below $3,000 obviously comes with a lot of disadvantages. First, it's hard to scale without sophisticated systems because to make a lot of money, you have to sell more clients. And if you don't have sophisticated systems to handle that amount of clients, that volume of clients, then you will just break. Second, you will be judged by the time you invest rather than the value that you provide. Third, the clients will respect you less. This becomes very important later, trust me. Fourth, you will get worse clients who don't have a strong value-based frame, because of the previous 2. There you go. And lastly, you can focus less per client, which means your clients will get worse results on average, hurting not only your brand, but also hurting your testimonials and hurting your marketing messaging. Now, generally, if someone is facing these problems for long enough, it leads to burnout because you are not really seeing the return on your time. Although you're making some money, you're making 3, 4, 5K per month, maybe even also 10K. But at the end of the day, all this inefficiency that you see here leads to a lot of coaches, a lot of people, consultants burning out. So what happens if instead of charging below 3K, you become a transformational high-ticket coach who confidently charges above $3,000 per transformation? First, your business will become easy to scale with minimal systems because you have few clients. Second, you will be judged by the value you provide instead of the time that you invest. Third, the clients will respect you more. Obviously, this becomes crucial later. You will get better clients who have a strong value-based frame. And lastly, you can focus more per client, achieve more results for them. With those results, build more credibility. With that credibility, get better clients. And with those better clients, get more of those better clients. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's an upward spiral. It's an exponential growth strategy instead of a linear one. Now, most people in this situation find it much easier to find fulfillment rather than burnout. So how do we actually do it? I'll be outlining 4 steps. First, your offer and messaging, how to position yourself. Second, lead generation, the traffic, how to get the right eyeballs on your offer and what you're selling. Third, the conversion mechanism of your system. Let me just quickly arrange that, which will include getting leads to book calls and then converting those book calls into closes. And then lastly, the scaling mechanism and what you can do from there. So in the first step, in the offer and messaging, you first have to find a strong enough pain that you can talk to, because high ticket only works if the pain is strong enough. You can't really charge high ticket for nice to haves. It has to be a must have for the people that you are talking to. Choose wealthy target avatars. Obviously they have money. You should know at least a couple of these people, because if you don't, then your market research will take a long time. I'm speaking from experience. Please don't commit that mistake. You have to understand what words your target avatar use. So for your current state, for the desired state, and the roadblocks that they are currently facing. You have to figure out the key pillars of your client's success and create a unique framework that includes the main pillars that your clients have to commit to in order to see success. So it's understandable. For example, these step 1, 2, and 3 are 3 main pillars that you could look at, which makes it more understandable for you how we build out high ticket offers for our clients. And once you get that taken care of, then you can formulate your offer statement, Alex Hormozi's offer statement. Here you go. This will give you clarity and confidence in your offer, so you can align your marketing efforts and always know exactly where you are standing in the market, what your positioning is, what your messaging is, in order to be aligned and confident in where you want to go. Now, the way we typically do this for our clients, we put everything into one document, one Google document. It's the sales copy blueprint, where we not only outline, for example, Brian's backstory, but also Brian's niche, avatar, their primary goals, their secondary goals, their primary objections, and everything that has to do with his target audience and his offer. Now in step 2, that would be day 7 to 14, is your lead generation, finding the right place to get traffic from and get the right eyeballs. To do this, first, imagine the life of your target avatar and pay attention to these. Where do they spend their time? Where do they look for solutions? What catches their attention? It could be their name, their profession, their company, their weight, their confidence, etc. If you answer these questions, then you will know exactly where you can look for them. So let me give you an example. I've worked with an exam preparation coach who's helped people prepare for a very specific entrance exam at a very specific university. And as it turned out, most people were looking for solutions on Google. It wasn't necessarily on YouTube or Instagram, although they were also present there. But their primary source of information, because it was a university, was Google. So they typed in the university name in Google, and we started running Google ads and therefore catching a lot of the traffic that was looking for a solution in that market. And that allowed us to scale an exam preparation coaching, pretty weird, right, to above 10K per month. Second, look up where your competitors approach your target avatar. This will give you a good context as to where the market stands. Here you can look for unconventional methods to reach out where no one is reaching out to them. Maybe no one is calling them on a phone. Maybe no one is texting them on email. Or maybe no one is reaching out on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. So you can find unconventional ways and be different that way. Second, you can do it often enough to negate the odds. So whatever you are doing, just scale it, just up the volume. And thirdly, you can become good enough to stand out. Now for Brian specifically, because I've been mentioning his story for so long, we did the second 2. So we did it often enough to negate the odds. We posted on Instagram in his case. And obviously Brian is a great content creator. So for him at this point, it was already easy to become just good enough to stand out. So we used these 2. And lastly, create content and provide value. I mean, come on, you know about this. You know that you have to create content, and you know that there is a hook to everything. I started this video with this, why it's relevant. I told you Brian's story, what I'm even talking about, non-high ticket versus high ticket, how, you implement step 1, 2, and 3, and what if this is the adaptation. If you want to actually adapt this strategy and actually implement this into your business, then it's the first link in the description. You can schedule a call with me. We would be going over your client acquisition system and talking about the methods that you are currently using, you could improve, and some methods that could supplement your system to increase lead flow, to increase call bookings, and in general, just to scale your business, charge high ticket and go from there. So this is the content. I don't even want to waste too much time on this one. And step 3 is the conversion and your closing of people. Now, as Alex Hormozi has outlined in his value framework, it takes essentially 4 things for a person to buy, convert, and close. First, they have to like the dream outcome that you are selling, so they actually have to want it. Second, they have to have a high perceived likelihood of achievement. Third, they have to have a low time delay between when they buy and when they get the result. And fourthly, they have to have as low as possible effort and sacrifice, because no one wants to sell their arm and a leg to just make, I don't know, $5,000, but they would happily pay $20 and wait 5 minutes for $5,000. So if people are not closing and not converting on your high ticket offer, then you can do these 4 things to make them more likely to close and enhance your offer. First, ask yourself this about the dream outcome. Is this something they just want or desperately need? Because if this is not something that they desperately need, it will be a lot less likely that they actually buy. Second, pay attention to the perceived likelihood of achievement, the trust in you and your service. You can increase these odds by introducing guarantees, social proof, and weirdly enough, these last 2 many people don't think of, more targeted messaging. Because if you are talking to a very specific person, they will feel like it's more likely that you can actually help them. And lastly, creating objection handling content, which means that addressing those problems that people bring up on the sales calls and handling them in your YouTube videos, Instagram videos, tweets, whatever it may be. Now, thirdly, time delay. Is your service almost a magic pill, or does it take 5 years to see results? So even if you have an investing offer where the real returns will only be seen in a couple of decades, still introduce some aspect of investing where people can see quick results, quick wins, and possibly even an ROI. But I leave it to you how far you can take that. Now, wasting someone's time is similar to wasting their money. Sorry, that should be someone's, but wasting someone's time is similar to wasting someone's money, because in some cases it's actually the same, especially if they're entrepreneurs or wealthy people, because for them a long time delay will actually not only waste their time, but also money. And lastly, effort and sacrifice. You have to answer this question extremely clearly. How will this be easier than things that I have tried already? If you've done your market's research and constructed your offer in the correct way, then you should have an answer to this question. But if not, then by answering this question more effectively, you will be able to increase your conversions and also your closing rates. For reference, these are the assets that we are using to increase conversions and closing rates. Now, how we are exactly doing this, I will explain in other videos, but they essentially serve these purposes. Now, once you've finally built out your offer, you know what to sell. You know where to sell it because you have the right traffic. And you know how to increase conversion and closing by implementing these principles. Now, the 4th step from here is actually just to scale. Systematize your day first to increase your volume that you can output and draw learnings and conclusions from that. Second, create systems and processes to support your work and stop guessing around. You need systems and processes around traffic, the lead mechanism that you will be using to convert people, and also the sales process where you are actually collecting the cash. Third, create scalable deliverables, which makes it easy for you to see what you have to deliver for each and every client. And by the way, please only include the essential deliverables. Everything else should only be a cherry on top. Lastly, you can leverage people who have done it before, which are appointment setters, growth partners, consultants, or even your competitors, whom you can talk to, ask what they are doing, and borrow their strategies from there. Now, once you've correctly implemented all of these steps, so step 1, 2, 3, 4, you can finally start to see these results. This is the point where we introduced high ticket for our client Naj, and this is the point where we introduced high ticket for our client Brian. Now, if you need help with any of these steps and you're an online coach, consultant, or online therapist, then this is exactly what we do. We help them optimize their offer and messaging, create a lead generation that is consistent and right for their purpose, and increase conversions and closing by implementing these principles and concrete systems, as you can see over here. And we help them scale this system by setting the right priorities and using our experience in scaling coaching businesses. So if that sounds interesting to you, then it's the first link in the description. Go down below, schedule a free funnel audit. It will be a 45-minute call of you and me going through your system, and I'll be showing you how we deliver our service in more detail. And trust me, I'm not here to hard close anyone. It's just a conversation between you and me. And if at the end we see an opportunity to work together and we both see that it's a good fit, then we just take the next steps. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, like, subscribe, all the YouTube things. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.